Now let's start a vocab builder. First, we need to read the review words. Equal parts. Equal parts. Sometimes we call it also equal shares. Okay? Shape. Shape. Rectangle. Rectangle. Triangle. Triangle. Square. Square. Now let's draw pictures to complete the graphic organizer. Equal parts, we should draw here examples for equal parts and not examples. What do we mean by not examples? We mean we are going to draw here shapes that resembles unequal parts, which would make this part not an example for the equal parts. So now let's start with the examples of the equal part. Okay, we have here three shapes, so we will deal with those three shapes. The rectangle, the triangle, and the square. Okay, so if I draw a triangle like this and I cut it into two. Okay, so this is an example for equal parts using a triangle. Okay, let's draw a square. This is also an example of a square that is divided into four equal parts. Because remember, to have equal parts is not about dividing the shape into half. You can divide it into many parts as long as those parts are equal. So here, for example, we have quarters. Okay. We have this one. We have this one. And we have this one. So as you see here, we can create equal parts, not only by dividing into halves, but sometimes into quarters or more. Now let's make a rectangle. Just a second. I'm trying to draw it properly. Okay, this is a rectangle. And here the rectangle, we divided it into three equal parts. Okay, so here those are examples for the equal parts. What about the not examples? Not examples, which we said they are going to represent unequal parts. Let's do it. If you have a triangle like this, and I told you, okay, we can draw a line like this. So we have unequal parts. Or we have a square, and I told you we're going to draw it like this. So also we have unequal parts. Or we have a rectangle, and we are going to draw it like this. So those are unequal parts. So we call it unequal parts. Sometimes we call it, just a moment. Okay. Sometimes we call it unequal shares. So equal parts, we mean by it, we means sorry we mean parts that have the same size. And for the unequal parts, they are parts that have different size, not the same size. Now let's move to the next question. Understand vocabulary. Draw a shape to match the shape name. Now this is so easy, okay? Now the rectangle, as I have shown it above here and even in show what you know, you have to make two long sides, okay, and two short sides. As I told you, in the rectangle, not all the four sides are equal. Two are long equal sides and two are short equal sides. For the triangle, as I told you before, triangle, tri means three, so we have three sides like this. What about the square? What is the most important thing about a square? Excellent. The most important thing is that all sides are equal. Good job, boys and girls. Now I need to ask you a question. How many vertices or corners do we have in a rectangle? Now in a rectangle, we have how many sides? We said before 1, 2, 3, and 4. How many vertices or corners? 1, 2, 3, and 4. What about the triangle? We have 3 sides and 3 vertices or corners. For the square, we have 4 sides and also 4 vertices or corners. Okay, what do we call those shapes? What do we call it? Is it 3-dimensional or 2-dimensional shapes? No, it's not a 3-dimensional shape. It is 2-dimensional shapes. And by the way, we use the 2-dimensional shapes to form 3-dimensional shapes. Now, this is the end of our lesson for today. I hope now you are more prepared to start our chapter by tomorrow, inshallah. I hope you are fine and doing great. Good job for all boys and girls who sent me the small problem that I asked them to solve as a homework, not in the last lesson, but in the lesson before it. I think it was lesson 8.4. Thank you so much for your feedback, and see you tomorrow.